First of all, let's begin with the reopening of the Philip Goldson International Airport back in October, and perhaps what numbers or what the arrivals have been looking like in terms of visitors to Belize and their access to our various destinations and the industry on a whole.
Well, I mean, it's all relative, of course. Having the airport open was a great improvement. But it really started as only a trickle of tourists. And to tell you the truth, it's, the number of arrivals, business has improved somewhat. November was better than October, and December is somewhat better than November. But in terms of absolute numbers, when you compare the state of the industry today, this should be the very peak of our season for this period. It's just a shadow of what was a year ago. Maybe it's 10, 15% of what it was a year ago. I mean, it varies from destination to destination and property to property, but you still have a lot of hotels, tour operators, restaurants that are still closed, that never did open they closed in March and they never did open back. So it's a little dodgy to try and use statistics, yeah. But overall, there's no one in the industry who will tell you things are good, because they're not good.
Yeah. Has this prompted you guys to look at marketing your various properties in different ways to attract visitors? I mean, notwithstanding the pandemic situation?
Well, I mean, everyone in the industry, and again, when I talk about the industry, it's not just hotels. It's hotels, tour operators, it's tour guides, it's restaurants, it's associated services. Everyone's affected. But, this pandemic, it's not like there was a handbook that had how to deal with a global pandemic. Everyone tried their own methods, and there is no one method that happened, to be superior to all others, because you're dealing with a lot of different problems at once. Number one problem when the pandemic hit was, how do you deal with all the people who cannot come and want refunds? Well, if you're a hotel or a tour operator, especially, because these are two areas where people tend to pay in advance, and you're suddenly besieged by dozens of requests, people want their money back. They don't want their money back in Belize dollars. They want their money back in US dollars. That's a big hurdle to overcome. So that's the first problem that faced the industry. And if you manage to get that solved, and some did and some didn't, by making offers that people would postpone their trips rather than cancel trips, you still had to deal with the issues of, now you've got no one in your tour van or your tour boat, and you've got no one in your hotel. You still got your bills to pay, you've got your bank to pay. So yeah, it's a whole host of problems. It's not just one problem that business people and their employees are dealing with.